Hey guys, welcome back. It's Deanna from Far From Homesteading, and today I want to talk to you about mullein. So let's go. Mullein is a biennial plant, which means that it comes up 2 years in a row. So the first year that mullein comes up, it's going to be a little rosé of leaves. It just looks really pretty. Now this right here is a second year mullein. And a mullein in its second year, it will form the rosé again after the snow melts. The little rosé of leaves will come out of the ground, but then a stalk will start coming out of that. And you see here, it has a long stalk. Well, I'm 5 foot and it's taller than I am, so a little over 5 foot. And some of them get bigger than this actually, but this is about the size that they usually grow, at least in my yard or garden. We're in the garden right now. I know most people, if they saw mullein coming up in the walkway of their garden, would probably just tear it out because they wouldn't want to deal with dragging hoses around the leaves or you know, just dealing with it. Most people consider it a weed, but when I saw this mullein coming up in my garden, I was so happy. I was like, yeah. The reason is I have a fence around here. I can keep the dogs out. The cats I can't keep out, but they don't mess with the mullein. And I just know this is a good, safe place that I can harvest my medicinal herbs. I know that nothing has been put on these plants and that these plants are perfectly safe to harvest from. Also, I have found this year, mullein brings more pollinators than any other flowers that I have here. All the pollinators are really attracted to this mullein, and so I'm letting it seed wherever it wants to in here. Obviously not in my beds, but I'm really excited to share this with you guys because as we learn to be more prepared, mullein is a very vital part of that. It is used, you can make a mullein tea, and if you get sick, if you have any respiratory problems, if you're coughing, if you're just, you know, sick with a cough, mullein is really good. You can use the leaves and the flowers to make a tea. This could be really important for you if you're ever in a position where you can't go to the doctor or you're stuck in the woods and you don't feel good. It's really good to know the medicine that surrounds you. All right, when harvesting mullein, they say that you should harvest the leaves from the first year and the flowers from the second year, but I find these leaves are just as beneficial as those leaves, so I just harvest off of any healthy mullein, and I don't take everything. I leave some for the bees, you know. I have several mullein plants in my garden, and the trick to mullein is if you're wanting to just get mullein flower, the mullein flower does not bloom all at the same time. They'll just have little sporadic flowers here and there on this big stalk. Oh, I got something in my eye. Whew, that was hardy. So, just pick a few flowers off of each mullein at a time. It's not going to be a lot, but you just collect it until you have enough. Now, another thing that mullein is really used for often is for earaches. You can take these flowers off of the mullein, not the leaves. Oh my gosh. You take the flowers from the mullein, these little yellow flowers here, and you pull them off. Let's see. These little flowers can be used in an oil for earaches. What you're going to want to do is to start saving your flowers. You're going to need a lot of these, depending on, well, it depends on how much oil you want to make. And you're just going to have to save them, because if you're collecting mullein from just a few plants, you're just not going to get a lot of flowers at a time. Also, these are really slippery and they're hard to hang on to, so just be aware. Anyways, you dry your mullein and then you add it to some oil. You can use olive oil. There are a lot of different kinds of oil you can use, but most people just use olive oil because it's easier to get. You can take these dried mullein flowers, put them in a jar, fill it with oil, put the lid on it, stick it in your pantry for a couple weeks. and then strain out these flowers. Make sure you label the bottle that you put it in, mullein oil, and I would suggest storing it in a brown glass bottle. And if you want to make your life even easier, get one of those little brown bottles with the dropper tops, which would be perfect for putting a few drops in your ears if you don't feel good. And this oil is used for ear pain. So if you have an earache, put a couple drops in your ear, put a little cotton ball in it, do that for a couple days. It's supposed to make it feel 100% better. I don't get ear infections a lot, so I've never had to use it, but it's always good to be prepared. You never know what's going to happen, guys. Now, when you harvest your leaves, you're just going to tear off a leaf. Make sure you get it from a healthy plant, one that's not like dirty. Don't harvest mullein from the side of a road. Well, obviously I live on the side of a road, but it is not like a super busy highway or anything. Right now it's busy because people are getting off work. It's not a really good time to shoot a video, but it's the time I have, so here we go. So you're just going to take these leaves, you're going to take a bunch of them, and obviously not all off the same plant. I'm going to move around the garden because I've got several mullein plants. But I'm just going to harvest some of these leaves off. I'm going to put them in my dehydrator, and then I am going to store them in a mason jar. Now, when you're making tea with mullein leaves, you're going to want to get like a cheesecloth or some kind of like really a towel maybe, because you can't tell on camera obviously, but these leaves are super furry and they've got these little hairs all over them. Now, you wouldn't want to drink all those little hairs because they would irritate your throat, and obviously that would be just totally against the whole purpose. So when you make mullein tea, you're going to want to strain it really well before you drink it. And I've also heard of people using this for toilet paper, y'all. Hopefully it never comes down to it. But if it does, and you're out in the woods and you see some mullein, it will suffice if need be. So I just love mullein. It's one of my favorite plants because it's so beautiful. It's stunning. It sticks up so high, and it's got these super soft leaves. As you can see, there are just a few flowers opening at a time, and that's normal. They open just a few at a time over a long amount of time. You see how big this is? Look, all the little flowers falling off. I just love them. Can you see the texture on the leaf, guys? Can you tell? Listen. I could cuddle this plant. It's so soft. Alright, now on this mullein I'm feeling a little bit more hesitant because it has still got stingy things crawling all over it. Like I said, they really love these plants. But I am going to go in here and I am going to pick a few. I'm going to be like, please don't sting me. Please don't sting me. Please don't sting me. Anyways, you just pop them off like they come right out. Like I said, you're not going to get a lot at a time, so start harvesting. I'm going to take some of these leaves. I don't want the really big leaves, but I also don't want the really small leaves. Alright, let's try to come through here and not get stung. Let's see what we have to harvest off of these. Got some flowers up it. I can't hardly reach this, guys. I'm 5'1½". I'm really proud of the half too, so don't laugh at me. And I mean, I'm this is at least, I'm on my tippy toes. Or what my daughter likes to say, I'm on my tippy toes tall. Look at it. It's beautiful, isn't it, guys? It's just growing right here beside this lovely pepper bed beside these marigolds. And it's just living its best little mullein life. And then right here beside it, we've got another one that's, well, it's probably 6 foot as well. It does not have any flowers going right now. And then we've got one over here that's starting to dry off. It's already bloomed all of its flowers and the stalk is starting to die. It's got a few left on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few leaves off of each of these. Off me be. I really like the smaller leaves. Now if you see down here, this one, it has some leaf damage. I'm not really sure what's going on with it. So I'm not going to be harvesting from this plant. Look at this, guys. These are some more of those lovely yellow dahlias like I have bloomed over there in the other bed. And I am so excited. There's going to be so many of them. Look how beautiful that is. Hey guys, it's Deanna. I was just editing the video and realized that I didn't say goodbye to you guys, and I just can't have that. So I just wanted to say thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned all about mullein. See you next time.